Hello.
Hello, welcome, another video.
Yep, this is just a short version of a video we did earlier, and we have some questions we really want to ask you because it's this is a topic that's so important to us, and we want to make sure we really answer the questions that really matter.
So the topic is the energetics of parenting. And it's kind of a topic that doesn't get talked about a lot, which is weird because it's a big needle mover. And energy is so huge in personal growth in general at the moment all over the world. Energy healing has been around for decades. Like that's such a common language now. Your abundance and manifesting, all the energy stuff. And it's not being talked about in the parenting world.
Generally, predominantly people skip to the doing, what do I say, how do I get my child to sleep, what are the tactics that I use to make things happen. And all of that stuff's applicable, but what really, really, really matters is the energy underneath that you bring that out with. So the energy that you are embodying, the energy you're projecting, and the energy you're receiving.
And interpreting.
Yes.
Because we're always interpreting energy. We're doing a lot of this unconsciously, but what happens when you start to bring conscious intention to it? What happens when you start to consciously work the energetics of connection in your relationship? What happens when you start to find ways to really work with energy in the level of receiving, so that you're actually topped up and in a really joyful place instead of thinking motherhood's an endless, thankless job. Like there's so many discussions to be had in terms of the energetic realm, and who we be is more important and a bigger needle mover than what we do. And we get caught up in our heads and we forget that.
It's a little, because it's not so predominantly talked about, it's a little harder to really easily get how vital and how important this is, the exploration of energy in parenting. But really, as you'll discover if you keep learning about it with us, that those energetic practices, the things that you focus on that are more about the inner experience of how you be before the communication, before the strategies, are the things that really make the difference. And they're also the things that really stay with you. They're the things that you'll have access to, and immediately it creates a ripple effect. It creates a change. Like for me, all the things that have really mattered are all energy work in my parenting.
Not that you would have consciously thought that. Years ago when the kids were little. No, I agree. Yeah. So who we be is a really important piece. And our conscious intention and understanding, we put so much consciousness into energetics in terms of, particularly wealth and abundance. Like the energetic conversation there is huge.
Like law of attraction stuff.
Yeah. And that is not, and it's even brought in relational dynamics. If you're really into relationship stuff, like romantic relationship, then the discussion on polarity and the tantra practices, they're all really booming too. Like there's energetics happening all through there too. But we're not talking about it in the mother-child relationship, and we're not talking about it at the level of the experience of motherhood as a whole, and having that joy and that satisfaction, feeling topped up.
Sense of sustainability and flow.
Feeling in alignment, being in flow and having our congruency in place. Because if you're not congruent, if your energy is projecting one thing and you're saying something else, your children, it just dilutes your message. Your children will totally know.
And being able to really fill yourself up with energy, to receive energy, and not even just from your children, but from the world, so that you actually feel lighter, so that you're feeding yourself, not just physically. There's
so many discussions to be had. So our question to you is, we are gearing up to teach several months worth of the energetics in parenting, in the mother-child relationship, in the experience of motherhood, in the way we project, set, embody energy, in the way we receive energy, in the way we interpret energy. It's all happening. What we want to know from you is what are your burning questions? What do you want us to bring to the conversation?
What do you want us to answer and make really clear to you?
Yeah.
So, and not just around like how to work with energy, but also what would have you really, really get the importance of this and have it be really applicable in your life. So it's not just kind of like something that you get is important, but how does that apply to me? Like, what would have that be really
and practical,
useful to you?
Yeah, useful and practical, because we get that when you're in the trenches with young babies and you're exhausted, there's not a lot of time for the esoteric. Like, we get that. We get where the priorities are. And we want to tell you that it's so possible.
It actually supports
it's huge. It's so huge in the way that you will experience those crazy early years. And we want to support you with this. So please, please, please post your comments, questions, opinions, thoughts.
Yeah,
anything.
All of it is so helpful to us, and it helps us to help you even more.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Bye-bye.